Okay, all right, here we go. And then the next one is going to be n to the 4 times 4. Okay. So 7 times 4 is 28. So sometimes you get big numbers for the exponents, and that's fine. And then n to the 16th, and that's your answer. Okay. So since I just started recording a few examples in, for those of you watching the replay, today's instruction is on power raised to a power, and you are going to have an exponent and then parentheses raised to another exponent. You're simply just going to multiply the two exponents and then simplify your answer. Okay. Any questions so far, you guys? Let me know you're all good by giving me either like a thumbs up or a green check mark in the participant box. Awesome. Thanks. Perfect. You okay, Bree? All right, awesome. Okay, cool. Good. Thank you. All right, so let's try another one. I'm just going to start just making it a little bit more and more interesting. I guess that's how I will describe it. So what if you have something like this? C d squared raised to the 3rd power. So it's very similar to the one that you had before. I just wanted to make sure that you have an example where you have a variable that looks like it doesn't have an exponent. We've seen that before when we were multiplying before and we just had plain old variables that didn't have any exponent. And so I want to make sure and remind you that there really is an exponent there. It's not a 0, it's a 1. So just to make sure you don't forget, I'm putting the little 1 right there, and then I'm gonna distribute the 3 to both of these, okay? All right, so this will be C to the 1 times 3, D to the 2 times 3, okay? And you're gonna get so fast at doing this, I just wanna show you all of the steps in between so that way you know like what you're doing. All right, so this will be C to the 3rd and D to the 6th. You can't go any further. That's another thing I wanted to remind you of. Remember, you can't go any further with these answers because you have 2 different letters and you can't add these exponents unless you have the same letter on the bottom, the same base. So since it's 2 different variables, you just leave your answer like that, okay? Okay, so now let's put the ones that have some coefficients in there because you'll see that on your homework and on like tests and stuff. You're going to see some numbers in there with the variables. So let's try something like this. 5x to the 8th, all of that raised to the 2nd power. I think they go over this pretty well in the Edpuzzle, but just in case, I want to make sure I go over it. So this 2 is going to get multiplied by that 8. That we know, we got that down. That's what we've been doing in all these other examples. But how about this 5 right here? We have to do something with the 5 because it's also in the parentheses and being raised to the 2nd power. So we can't just forget about it. We actually have to do something with it. And so if you remember, this 5, even though there's no exponent with it, there really is a little tiny 1 right there with that 5 as well. It's like 5 to the 1st power is just a plain old 5. So you're going to treat it just like you do the letters, okay? Just like the variables. So you would distribute the 2 to that little 1 right there, and you would distribute it to the 8, okay? So this will become 5 to the 1 times 2, x to the 8 times 2. So this would be 5 squared x to the 8 times 2 is 16. Now, we can go a little farther with this because we can figure out what 5 squared is. You can either do it in your head or you can do it in Desmos if you need to. Sometimes these numbers get big really fast, like it's something raised to like maybe the 4th or 5th power. So have Desmos open, help you out a little bit. So 5 squared, that's not too bad. 25 x to the 16th. And that's your answer for that one. Okay. Let's try a few more. I want to make sure you get a full variety of problems. So how about this? 2x squared y raised to the 5th power. Okay, actually try that one on your own and I'll give you like a couple minutes and then I'll go over it. But just try it out. See if you can figure this one out by yourself before I give you the answer. Okay, let's see what you got. So this 2 is going to have a 1. This y is also going to have a 1. And so when we distribute, it's going to be the 5 is going to go to the 1, to this 2, and to this, excuse me, this 1 also. So this would be 2 to the 1 times 5, x to the 2 times 5, y to the 1 times 5, like that. Okay, I simplify. So 2 to the 5th power, x to the 10th power, y to the 5th power, like that. Now, 2 to the 5th power is not 10, okay? It's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which actually comes out to be 32, okay? Hopefully y'all got 32, I hope so. X to the 10th, y to the 5th. And that's your answer for that example, okay? All right, so far so good. Any questions? Put a little red X next to your name if you don't have any questions, or if you do have a question, let me know. Okay, good deal. All righty, so let's do one that's got some negatives in it, because might as well, right? So how about -4 c to the 3rd power d to the 4th power raised to the 4th power. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing, but just be careful, okay? Especially if you're plugging this into Desmos, okay? So this has a 1 right here, that -4 has a 1. So this is still gonna go here, it's gonna go here, and it's gonna go here. Okay. So it'll be -4. Now this is the part that we have to be careful about. Since it's a -4, the whole thing is being raised to an exponent, all right? So we have to make sure that the negative gets included in like the whole thing, especially when you type this into Desmos or a calculator, because it won't do it the way you want it to unless you put parentheses around this, okay? So when you have negative numbers, use parentheses. Okay, it's sort of like if you were to type, if I were to type -4 squared like that into a calculator, your calculator actually knows how to do order of operations. And so PEMDAS says that you should do exponents before you multiply. Like this negative here is like saying times -1. So your if you put it in your calculator or Desmos like this, it's actually going to square this 4 first and then put a negative in front of the answer. So you would get -16. But that's not what we're doing here. We're actually raising the negative sign also to an exponent. So you want to put the -4 in parentheses. I'm doing squared just to keep it easy. I know that this will not be raised to the second power when we get over here, but like squared, I can do that one in my head. So you're gonna put parentheses around it, and then, so it's like -4 times another -4. That's really what we want to happen here. So the answer will become +16, okay? So in order to bypass all of that worry of getting the problem wrong, just put parentheses around all negative numbers and you'll be good to go. Like always just put parentheses around the negative number and then do like you normally do, 1 times 4, like that. This one will be, the letters are easy, right? C will be raised to 3 times 4. D will be raised to the 4 times 4. Okay. I don't know what -4 to the 4th power is. Let's see. Do one of you guys have it? This is 6 and this one's 16. I got that much. So anybody have it? Does anybody type it in Desmos?
It's 256.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
It's 256.
-256? Is that what you said?
Positive 256.
Positive? Okay. I think my, hold on just a second, you guys. Let me adjust my speaker because I think it is really, really low. And since I don't have anybody else in here, like in the classroom with me, yeah, it is. I turned my speakers way, way down. All right, now I think I'm better. Anthony, what did you say? Can you tell me one more time?
256.
Perfect. That came out loud and clear. Awesome. So 256, thank you. C to the 12th, D to the 16th. Okay. All right. So I've got one more that I want you to try on your own, and then we'll open up the homework and take a look at it, make sure that there isn't any surprises in there. Shouldn't be. And I'll let you go. You can like do your work for today. But let's try one more just to make sure that you're okay. How about this one? Okay, try that one. I'll give you like a minute or so, or a little bit longer. Alrighty, so let's see how you did. Check your answers. That'll be a 1. Okay, 36, A to the 4th, B to the 6th, C to the 8th. How many of you got that one? Go ahead and like check mark or let me know if you have a question about it. All right, nice, good. Anthony, Cal, Chastity, awesome. Okay. Okay, all right then. So that's all I have for examples for today. That's pretty much the gist of it, guys. Just keep yourself organized while you're doing these. I have the homework right here. Slide it over here. This is what the homework looks like for tonight. I will leave it up and I'll leave the call open for the remainder of the class. And you can ask me questions if you want to, but it follows pretty much like what you just did in the examples. And it's also gonna mirror what they talk about in the Edpuzzle. So go ahead and try those. If you feel like you're good to go, you are welcome to check out for the day. Just make sure that you upload your work to Canvas and all that good stuff. I hope you have a great weekend. Remember, tomorrow is asynchronous.